For so many people in Virginia, that dream of owning your own home can feel, well, just a little out of reach. But what if I told you it wasn't? There's a whole set of state programs out there designed specifically to turn that dream into a reality. And right now, we're going to break down exactly how you can tap into that help. So let me ask you this. Is the down payment the one thing that's making you hesitate? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are not alone. It's probably the single biggest hurdle for most people who want to buy their first place. But hang on a second. What if that hurdle wasn't nearly as high as you thought? What if there was a way to get thousands of dollars to help you out, and this is the best part, money that you would never, ever have to pay back? Yeah, we're talking about real money here, a serious amount. Imagine having an extra $10,000 in your pocket for your down payment and closing costs. I mean, that's a total game changer, right? And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to walk through the programs available right here in Virginia, figure out who qualifies, and lay out the exact steps you can take to get the ball rolling. Let's be real for a minute. Home prices have been climbing all across Virginia, and saving up that big chunk of cash for a down payment is just plain tough. It feels like a massive wall. But these programs, they're designed to turn that wall into a stepping stone. And here's the really good news. You don't have to figure all this out by yourself. Virginia has some fantastic organizations whose entire job is to help people like you buy their first home. So let's meet the main player in all this. This is the name you're going to want to remember, Virginia Housing. Think of them as the central hub, your mission control for first-time homebuyer help in the state. They've got everything from special types of loans to, and this is the exciting part, grants. Ah, yes, this is the part everybody's really waiting for. Let's talk about free money. We're going to dive into the programs that literally put cash towards your home purchase, which can slash your upfront costs. Now, I want you to really let this sink in. This quote comes directly from Virginia Housing, and those words are so important. When they say true grant, they absolutely mean it. This is not some tricky loan that you have to pay back later. It's a gift, plain and simple. So, Virginia Housing has two main grant programs on the table. First up is the Community Heroes Grant. That's a flat $10,000 for certain professionals. Then there's the Down Payment Assistance Grant, which is for pretty much most first-time homebuyers, and it gives you between 2 and 2.5% of the sales price. The key is just figuring out which one makes the most sense for you. So who are these community heroes who can get that 10 grand grant? Well, it's Virginia's way of saying a big thank you to our teachers, our childcare workers, our first responders, healthcare professionals, and of course, our military members. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or even retired from one of these fields, if this is you, you've got to look into this. Okay, so you see the possibilities, you see the money. The next big question is pretty obvious, right? Do I actually qualify? Let's break down the main things they're going to look for. Now listen up, because this is a huge point that a lot of people miss. The official definition of a first-time homebuyer is probably not what you think. It just means you haven't owned and lived in your main home for the past 3 years. So if you sold a house back in, say, 2019, and you've been renting ever since, guess what? You could qualify again. So besides that 3-year rule, here are the other main pieces of the puzzle. There are some limits on how much your household can earn and the price of the home you're buying. And you do have to use one of Virginia Housing's own mortgage loans to get the grant money. But don't sweat trying to memorize all the numbers. Your lender will walk you through every single detail. I know this can sound like a lot of information, but the actual process to get started is really, really straightforward. In fact, we can boil it down to a simple 3-step action plan. Here it is. It's this simple. Step 1. You take a homebuyer education course. It's required, but it also gives you a ton of confidence. Step 2, find a lender who is officially approved by Virginia Housing. These folks are the experts who live and breathe these programs. And finally, step 3, you'll just fill out some program-specific paperwork before you close on your house. That's it. That's your path. All right, getting help with the down payment is incredible. We know that. But what if you could also lower your housing costs for years and years after you've already moved in? Well, there's another amazing tool in the toolbox just for that. It's called a Mortgage Credit Certificate, or MCC. Now, this isn't a one-time thing like a grant. This is an annual tax credit. It basically lets you take a chunk of the mortgage interest you pay each year and turn it into a dollar-for-dollar reduction on your federal income taxes every single year, for as long as you have the loan and live in the house. It's amazing. So, Let's just put this all together so it's super clear. Think of it like this. The grants help you now. They're that one-time burst of cash that makes it possible to buy the home in the first place. The MCC helps you every year. It's the ongoing tax savings that makes owning that home more affordable over the long haul. And here's the best part. In many cases, you can use both. So what does all this really mean? It means that Virginia has built a really smart, really comprehensive system to help people. It tackles that immediate problem of the down payment, and it gives you tools for long-term savings. It really does create a clear path to making homeownership a reality. So the only question left is the one right there on the screen. With grants to help you get in the door and tax credits to help you afford to stay there, that dream of owning a home in Virginia, it might just be a lot closer than you ever thought possible.